And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. For today's podcast episode, I'm going to be talking about a little film that Nick Kaskis has actually dropped on my lap and everything. And as a matter of fact, he actually wrote this film, stars in this film. This is actually going to be making its way into the Independent Film Festival. Right now, it has an embargo and everything right now. So therefore, you can't really get a chance to actually view this film called Sugar. But I can actually talk to you about the 6-minute short film that's actually pretty good. It's really entertaining. I had a lot of fun with it. You could definitely tell that this actually has a 1970s kind of style flavor to it and things like that. It basically, here's the thing. I actually got a chance to check out different cuts of the film. So far, I'm liking the 6-minute cut because it actually describes the neighborhood and stuff like that, and about how something is too good to be true, and it turns out not to be what it is. And that's exactly what Sugar is. It's about this guy who winds up getting this cocaine for like $50, and his friends are basically making fun of him because of the fact he purchased cocaine, and it's not even cocaine. As a matter of fact, it's Sugar, which is actually the title film. But you know, I love the chemistry back and forth with his friends and stuff like that too, because I actually feel like the friend stuff is what I'm basically sold on and everything too. Whenever you look at this film called Sugar, Sugar is probably one of those films that I can say that if you're an independent film in the independent film festivals and stuff like that, I would definitely keep an eye on this film because it's definitely entertaining. It has some dark humor into it as well. It has that 1970s kind of flavor, like I mentioned before. But another thing too, it also has a dynamic with the friends. But I like how the friends are actually busting each other's balls because this one guy is like, "Come on, man, it's cocaine. I got cocaine for $50." He goes, "Man, that's not. How do you get cocaine for $50? There's no way that you can get cocaine for $50." He goes, "Man, I'm telling you that this is cocaine." So what does he do? They go on ahead, they try out the cocaine and everything, but really it's actually sugar. And he goes, "Man, I swear, I'm gonna go on ahead and go to that girl's house and everything. I'm gonna lay down the smackdown pretty much on this girl for selling me cocaine." So the girls already know that they sold them sugar instead of cocaine. They already know that they're expecting these guys to not come in over at their house and everything. And so as this scene plays out, there's actually this girl named Cash. Cash has this dungeon and things like that. You actually hear a little bit of whispering and stuff like that of a guy screaming in the background and stuff like that. She pretty much tells him to shut up. And then all of a sudden you get the knock at the door, and it's actually the guys who got screwed over with the thing of sugar. And so anyways, they point a gun at these guys, and basically what they do is they wind up taking this dog leash and handcuffing both of their hands together. And then they go into Cash's basement. And then when they go into Cash's basement, that's when they wind up getting threatened for buying cocaine, what they thought was cocaine. What they're trying to do is they're actually vigilantes trying to stop drug users, trying to stop other users from buying cocaine, drugs, anything else within that neighborhood and everything, because at this neighborhood is like a really rundown neighborhood. It's not one of those places where you would want to be at or anything like that. And they're trying to stop these people from buying cocaine and buying drugs. So they're basically just trying to threaten them and things like that. So I thought that was actually pretty entertaining on that level. And then, of course, we get into the whole entire deal where they said, well, either we can do chains, whips, or whatever. And then that's when they bring out the chains and whips and stuff like that whenever here's the thing. They actually don't bring out the whips and chains or anything like that. Instead, they said, well, which one do you want? So, of course, they're going to try and shoot them. And then that's when I'm not going to go into the spoiler territory about what actually happens to them. But then it cuts back into the guy at the very introduction of the film. And I'd say this movie is entertaining. This short film is very entertaining. I really enjoyed this short film for what it is and things like that. If Nick had a little bit more of a budget and stuff like that, I believe that this would have actually been a great dark comedy or a suspense kind of movie and stuff like that, especially when the friends are actually busting each other's balls and things like that. This could actually be a dark comedy or whatever you want it to be. But the 1970s flavor actually does work. The lighting works for it to be a 1970s type of film style, especially the way it's actually shot, especially the way the friends are actually around the table as well. You don't see any cell phones. You don't see any of that stuff. And that's exactly what Nick was telling me about, too, when we reviewed A Beautiful Mind, was the fact that whenever they did it with cell phones film the movie with cell phones rather than actual film and everything too. And that's something that I have to say was really good and very original of Nick and everything too, to use just your basic camera and stuff like that, because I've seen independent film projects where they're using cell phones and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, Crichton Hobbs used his for a movie that he did over in the Halloween season and everything too. And using your cell phone and everything, you don't need these high dollar equipments or anything like that to make a movie anymore. You can actually do that from your cell phone, which I find very fascinating, depending on how you actually make it. And the way they actually crafted it, the way he actually got to where you get to know the characters and everything was really good. But yeah, I feel like maybe a little bit more of a budget, more of the stuff and things like that. Here's the thing. I think we would actually had more character development with the guys and stuff like that. But still, you're sold on the fact that these guys are breaking this other guy's balls for buying $50 of cocaine and winds up being sugar instead. So that aspect actually works. It sells its title. It's real. I was entertained by it for the 6-minute short that I saw. So if you haven't seen Sugar, if you're into the independent film festivals, if you're going to any independent film festivals, go ahead and check out Sugar. I promise you, I think that you're going to wind up laughing a little bit, especially what happens at the very end of the film too, and things like that. But there's also a little bit of mystery about what happens to those characters and stuff like that too. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this review. I know it's a lot shorter than normal and everything else, but guess what? I'm going to be here live again at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific Time. Charlie and I have a little segment called We're Going to Ruin Your Childhood. And this is us just putting random actors or puppets or anything that we want into a film that you love. And we're going to try and ruin it for you. And it's just going to be a little fun thing that we're doing and everything else. We figured with the weekend and everything coming up, what better day to do this than on a Friday night. So go ahead, check that out tonight. Another thing too, guys, is go ahead, like and subscribe if you like this video. If you want to see more, go ahead, click down below and everything. We have a whole playlist of stuff that you guys can actually go through. Another thing too is go on ahead, check me out at Schmoes of the North over there at 3 o'clock p.m. Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern, over on that channel on Mount Schmodown. We talk everything Schmodown, and that's actually going to be SCHMOEDOWN. Schmodown. And basically it's an movie trivia entertainment show. And if you're into movie trivia, if you're into like the WWE style kind of thing, go ahead and check that out. Also, too, guys, if you guys want to donate into the show, how do you do that? Just go to www.gofundme.com/Movie Lovers Podcast. And that's actually how you go ahead and donate into the page and everything else. This is just to keep the lights on here at Movie Lovers Unite. Another thing, too, is if you guys want to follow us, how do you do that? You just go to Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Pinterest as well. You guys can also get an audio podcast of all our episodes and everything too, where you guys get your podcast from. I am having a little bit of trouble with Apple right now, but all my other stuff is actually on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all that other good stuff. So go on ahead, check that out over there. And then, of course, you guys can always go on ahead and follow me on Twitter at Movie Lovers Unit or at John Gregorio 8 on Twitter. And then if you want to reach out to us, just go on ahead, go to movieloversunite@gmail.com, send out us a little message or whatever, telling us how much you like the show. Or if you're a sponsor, go on ahead, send a message and everything on there as well. And then, of course, follow us on Movie Lovers Unit on stereo as well. Always until next time, guys, it's been real, it's been fun. I can't wait to do this again, and bye-bye.